No matter what it is in life that you want, you gotta go out there and get it. Just don't let it to a sleeper but a dream. Never give up on your goals. Stay focused on you. Focus on you. Succeed, cause I'm hoping you do. Keep climbing up the ladder, cause the key to success.
Hello, this is Robert Porter, missing Ipiani Lockhart, and on the I Love San Bernardino County radio show on KCA NBC 106.5 FM, 1050 AM, where we will talk politics, culture, and history. Councilwoman from San Bernardino, Kim Canas, on the show. What are you doing today? We got he's doing some stuff with and.
Hey everyone, I'm excited to be here with you today.
And what do you got for us today? What are you going to talk about?
Well, you know what? I got a whole bunch of things I could talk about, but I'm going to keep it real smooth and light today. We're going to talk a little bit about AI, talk a little bit about what I'm doing in the community with our nonprofit, and, you know, hopefully we'll have a real kickback conversation and see if we can enlighten some folks.
Okay, sounds like a plan. Sounds like a plan. Okay, well, today we have my beautiful mother in the house. How you doing, Mama?
Hi, I'm here.
My goal is to get her back on the radio. She was on the radio and singing Christmas carols in December.
Beautiful.
And she's back today. So thank you, Mama. We love you.
I love you too.
There we go. Mama's love.
Yes, yes. I'd like to mention our sponsors, Golden Pizza and Wings, which I just chopped down. $7.55 tax, lunch, pepperoni pizza right here in the office. My mama had their chicken salad. Was a good.
It was wonderful.
Yeah, they got good food over there, team.
Food.
Yeah, head to Golden and Highland or Olive and Waterman, and it's $7.55 plus tax all day, every day. You can't get a better deal, team. And you watch your kids chomp that down on a Friday. Chomp it down, and then you only have to give them ice cream, right? They'll be full.
You got to have ice cream after pizza.
Yeah.
Come on.
And if you're a really good parent, you'll get them the chicken salad too, and make them eat a salad beforehand, right? But yeah.
That's a good parent.
Yeah, well, it's good because it coats the stomach, and then you don't absorb as much fat and sugar.
Yeah, that part.
All right, and Pal Academy, when they're having their celebration at San Bernardino Valley College this Thursday, I believe at 4 o'clock. Me and my mama will be there. I hope to see you all there. If you are not there, if your kids are there, congratulations to them. Pal Charter Academy, middle school, high school, their summer school enrollment is open until June 20th. Get your kids in summer school. It is not for dumb kids. This is for setting your kids up for the future, right? You got to work this summer. Put your kids to work this summer, right?
I agree.
I don't think there's a better thing that you can do during the summer besides a little family vacation is to spend time doing something where you learn, right? Even if it is a summer camp or a school or some kind of program that you're learning Spanish, whatever it is,
yes.
right? In ninth grade, I learned Spanish, right? Yeah. That's what I try to do. So, I mean, any student in high school can do this themselves, right? And guess where I learned Spanish?
Where?
San Bernardino Valley College.
There we go.
Right. They have a program for high school students that they come, at least at that time. I don't know. That was 1994. They probably still do, though. So maybe check in. And I went to Valley, and then I got the chance to, have more free time at school, which led more free time to be able to work, which led me to have money in my high school years. Right?
It changes everything when you got some money in your pocket.
Yeah, it was fun. Like, I had a blast. I actually took all my high school friends out for food and stuff like that. Taco Tia Wednesdays. You know, we had it all.
Come on.
Anyways, good stuff. Good stuff. Right on, team. So please check out Pal Charter Academy. Enroll them. Enroll them in the school for summer. See if you like it. If you like it during the summer, you might be able to get them in for the fall, right? Just keep on going. They have a separate middle school as well, so you can send your kids there. So, Mr. Radden, he's a cool cat over there. They're talking about maybe putting in a community garden there. They have a brand new football field and baseball field and what do they call this? The scoreboard, okay. A brand new scoreboard. I saw his dad's name's on there. Nice. Really cool stuff. So,
it's a beautiful school.
Yes, it's an incredible school. And they have a lot of fun things for the kids. And then the most important thing is that the kids that I see excelling there are total smiles, and like you can see, you're not faking those smiles in the pictures, right?
Right.
I know that. These are real smiles, right? So they've got to be having a good time. I'm sure there's rough times too, because they have a counseling center where the kids can sit down, put their feet up, and calm down. Now,
That's always needed in school.
Yeah, I probably needed that quite a few times.
Come on. Better than a paddle.
Yeah, yes, that's so true.
Back in the day, they was paddling us.
All right, I'd like to bring up our I Love San Bernardino standout of the week is Robert Satterfield today, performing arts theater teacher at San Bernardino and San Gorgonio, and I mean, he's been involved in so much when it comes to theater and arts and acting and stuff that he's built this repertoire of famous people that he can show their pictures that he's with, and it's just really it's cool to watch his posts, right? And then me and Tanya on Talk of the Town one time interviewed him, and he had done a whole expose on the Medal of Honor recipients. And stuff that they've contributed and who they were and things like that. That's awesome.
That's
you know,
good.
that's super cool. So I talked to him today. He thanked me for being stand of the week. He's working on some stuff for the 50th and 75th anniversaries of graduating classes, I think, of San Bernardino High School. But he's pretty busy right now, so he's not going to get on the show anytime soon. But we will keep bugging him and see what we can do. All right, this is very important, team. Probably the most important thing on this show today. How do I request city services? How do I clean up my own town? How do I? Me. You go online to sbcity.org/sbaccess, or you get the mobile app at the App Store. Go SB City, right? And then you can just take a picture, mark the GPS. They'll come out in a few days and fix the pothole, the graffiti, the encampment, whatever it is you need fixed. Or, you know, the old school way. Sometimes we'd have to do this. Give them a call, 909-384-7272. And, you know, put in your request for city services.
There we go.
Have you ever done that, Councilwoman?
Numerous times. I've been using it for years. I used it before when it was I think, Go Request, and it switched over to Go SB City.
Mm-hmm.
So it's very, very convenient. And like you said, it's a good way to help our city out. We have to keep in mind that we're kind of the boots on the ground. We see it. We live here. So we have to kind of do our part as community and report.
And if we don't do it, then we just expect others to? I mean, no, I mean...
Or it just doesn't get handled.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's just not... That's the result is that, right? I mean, and like even when the city does get a chance to get to stuff, they can't be all over the 64 square miles, right?
It's
So they
very
gotta,
large city.
Yeah. And these two wonderful items are brought to you by Myokja Shabu. Give them a call at 909-332-7040. The only Wagyu Shabu in town, right over there across the street from Costco. Right across the street from Costco. You just go out, so you're getting some gas on Hospitality. You come across, you go right across in the next parking lot, come around, make a right, and pull right into Myokja. And sit, have a drink, get some hot pot, enjoy some good food. Now, this is for foodies, team. This is nice. Get dressed up. Go out and enjoy. Excellent. I mean, we don't have a lot of incredible spots here in San Bernardino that make me feel like I need to get dressed up to go to. So when there is a place, let's do it. Let's use it. If we do not use it, team, what will happen?
We might lose it.
Yes, it will end up with another Jack in the Box.
Come on.
Like, I don't want another Jack in the Box. I don't. We don't need another Quack or another car wash or another storage. I know you need those people too to pay some stuff, but like I think we need some foodie spots. So, yeah.
We need a diverse mix of business.
Yes. Please. I don't want us to just be like the stop-off point like Cal State was, like the commuter campus, right?
Commuter city.
Yeah, I don't want to be that. I want to be a wholesome. Yeah, what the central, because we are the center.
We are.
Yeah, we're the hub. We've always been the hub. LA was a hub. We're a hub.
True.
LA always just came to San Bernardino and back and forth, right?
True.
So I love San Bernardino with all my heart, team. So thank you, Milk, Josh, Abu, Shabu, and Cindy Ta for all you do. And if you get a chance, hit up Mochi Nut and BBQ Korean fried chicken right there on Redlands Boulevard and Anderson, right behind the Bakers, man. This stuff is good. Those Mochi Nut Yam Donuts are incredible, and they got these corn dogs that they roll in different toppings, man. So if you like some hot Cheeto corn dogs or whatever, go try it. They got some good stuff. So I love that Cindy decided, you know what, we're getting out of the real estate rat race for a little bit, and we're gonna build some local businesses and some foodie businesses, right?
People
That's
love
cool. That is so cool. Like the fact that she said that made me just like, wow, some people really do think about the future of our city, right? Yeah, we need a lot more of those, right? So that's why I try to showcase what Cindy and her husband are doing, and hopefully they can lead the way for other people who are involved in real estate. That I see them right now posting 1 million videos on their real estate company. Well, stop making videos, team. Go open a business and doing something else, because the time is for the housing. Yeah, you can keep your side business a little bit for your real estate. Keep your side, your portfolio, whatever, but realize that's gone. Start another business. Build out of our recession that we're going to be in, and then you'll have something incredible as we leave out of it, right? So that's the key to hard times. That's how a lot of people who make money off of hard times. What? People make money off of hard times? Oh, yeah.
Yes.
There are people that pray every day for hard times. So that means that we could make money out of hard times too, right?
True.
So that means we also have to be prepared for the possibility that there will be some more difficult times in the future. So keep that in mind, team, and ultimately, call and request some city services, right? How do you get more information about our shows and KCAA?
You could go the KCAA app, which is on the Google Play App Store and the Apple App Store. Just download KCAA. Go ahead and just type that in, and you can listen anywhere.
And plug your show, dude.
Oh, yeah, and don't forget to tune in to Palm Trees in Progress Presents on Tuesdays at 7 p.m. So tune in tomorrow. We're going to be chopping it up and have a good time.
And that's brought to you by Motivational Relations. A positive thought. Thank you, Ipiani. We appreciate you so much. And as we get started, we have woman Kim Canas in the house. How are you doing today?
I'm doing great. It's a pleasure to be here today.
So, I mean, you worked hard to get to this point. Is it everything you ever dreamed?
Oh, and more.
Your camera.
Oh, well. Well, go ahead and you can keep talking.
Yeah, no, I mean, I knew when I signed on that, our city definitely has challenges. So I didn't come in with my eyes closed for sure. Will I say it was a little more challenging than I ever could dream of? Absolutely. I mean, we've had a lot of surprises thrown at us within a very short period of time. But I'm a fighter. I'm a bit of a bulldog, and I love this city. I've been here since 1984. It's my home, and I say it all the time for all of us. It's a choice. We could be like so many other people that put up a for sale sign and move over to the land of milk and honey, Rancho Cucamonga, or even now Fontana. But we choose to stay here, and we choose to be involved, and we choose to actually get out, work for the benefit and the betterment of our city. And so that's why I signed on. Robert, I've always been involved in community, during SB Food Fest. I had the Verdamont Revitalization Project. This was just a necessary to actually...
$1 million.
Yes, many city cleanups, cleaning up trash all over. I've done it.
So if our city budget was a towel, and you're a bulldog,
Oh, goodness.
and you're grabbing a hold of her, what will you shake out of the budget right now? Just
Well, I'm going to be very
prepare for the future.
transparent. I mean, I was very transparent at our budget workshop. I'm always transparent, so I shouldn't say I'm going to be, because I always am. I've always really been a stickler when it comes to our city coffers, because we're out of bankruptcy, but we are not at a place where we are thriving. and that is troublesome. When you look at every surrounding city and you look at the amount of economic development that they have had, they are outpacing us left and right. So you'll see actually on Wednesday's agenda, there's a proposed future item that I have put on there in regards to our economic development. It is way past time that San Bernardino has had more of an intentional focus on our economic development. To your point, we get a lot of fast food, we get a lot of car washes. You know, that's not diverse businesses. Those aren't catalytic projects that are really going to change the trajectory of our city. That's not what's going to propel San Bernardino and move us forward. I mean, you've been here just as long as I have. How long have we been talking about redeveloping Carousel Mall? I mean, it's kind of a sore subject. I mean,
It's at least it's a vacant lot now. I mean, at least.
I will say, you know, I'm bougie, and I tell everyone this. If I could make this Beverly Hills, I would. You know, we deserve so much better as residents because, again, we choose to be here. I'm raising my 2 babies here. You know, I'm invested in multiple ways, and we deserve to have things in our city. We deserve to have things in the place that we call home. And so that's what I'm working with the council to try to change the trajectory, but change our focus. You know, back to our budget, we were able to balance the budget, which is great, but we have to keep in mind the how. How are we able to balance that budget? We have essentially asked every city department to cut their budget by 5%. You have to keep in mind, there's ramifications with that. We have to keep in mind, okay, if Public Works cuts 5%, what services are being cut 5%? If PD is cutting 5%, what services are going to be cut 5%?
If of course, if the animal shelter is cutting 5%, yes.
Exactly.
All these things, that's why it's good to put it across the board like you did.
Well,
so it's kind of everybody.
I
gets,
get it, but I say yes and no.
Yeah.
And this is the reason I say the no. Again, if we do not focus on building up our city coffers, we will continually be in this predicament.
Having to cut, yeah.
Exactly. How many times have we been having to cut? I remember sitting in that audience before I was a council person, and it was Councilman Sanchez that was, you know, really, you know, going through those items saying, we're having to cut trimming trees. We're having to do this. That was just about 2 years ago. And now here we are for our 25-26 fiscal year. We're in the same predicament. So my thing is,
we have a little reserves, tiny.
no,
bit,
we have
yeah,
reserves, which is great,
which
but we
was-
don't want to go into the reserves.
which we created because of the bankruptcy, right? So the
Yes.
fact that we're in a better position than LA is because of the reserves.
You're definitely in
They're
a better
$1 billion in
position.
the hole, right?
Yeah.
So they're hurting bad, right? So, but we do rely on sales tax as well. So
Heavily.
I often look at their economy and downsize it to ours and realize, wow.
Well, you know, their economy definitely is very different. It's like comparing apples to oranges. I mean,
A little bit,
it
but-
is.
but-
If you want to compare it, look
but
at
it
the
is
city.
property tax
Well, look at the
still,
city
yeah.
of Stockton and compare it to San Bernardino, and you'll see it's a stark comparison.
Do they use property tax
They
only?
do,
Yeah,
and
okay.
so you'll see what we are missing out on. And so, you know, can't go back, unfortunately. That was
Well,
a deal opportunity, but we are currently engaging with the county.
So I fought that whole thing.
Well,
right?
good for you for
And
doing
I tried,
that.
And I tried. It made it impossible for you to actually to beat LAFCO. You couldn't. It was impossible.
Well, never say, you know, impossible just yet. You know, we're going to remain optimistic. The county's great partners, and we have to keep them. We are the county seat, you know, and I think everyone's really rooting for San Bernardino. That's one thing, you know, in my campaign that was quite refreshing, you know, in meeting a lot of our, you know, other city counterparts and colleagues. They are genuinely wanting San Bernardino to succeed. They're like, we're rooting. We want to help you guys. What is it going to take for you guys to get it together? So it was refreshing, and it still is. And I think we still have a lot of allies out there. We just have to do our part. We really do. I think that San Bernardino, unfortunately, we've had a lot of toxicity in our politics, but we also have a lot of silos. There's a lot of division. When I got involved and I started my community organization, that was one thing that was glaring to me. It's kind of like, you know, mine, the me. There's not a lot of us. And so we really have to work towards breaking that down. And that's been a goal for mine, even on the council. I mean, our previous council was literally known as the left side versus the right side. And it's kind of unfortunate how some of the community members, they'll refer the gang of this or the gang of that. We really have to stop talking about our city the way that we do. If we really want to realize the change, we have to kind of change how we talk about our city. And that includes our council.
You can't change nobody. You got to change yourself.
Exactly. So the words we
look
speak.
in the mirror if you got a problem. Serious.
Yeah, and the words that we speak do have power. So it kind of hurts me when I'm hearing like San Bernardino ghetto and San Bernardino doo-doo. Like, we have to stop using those words.
I'll tell it right now. I have reported that San Bernardino ghetto page 1,000,000 times. I'll keep
Thank you.
reporting.
I think I've heard you
reporting
say
it.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah. I know who runs it, and they run it because they're making fun of me, whatever. But
Oh,
you know
wow.
what?
I didn't know
keep
that.
reporting.
Well.
Because they can't, not everyone can love San Bernardino a good way.
Well, and that's
Yeah.
unfortunate because again,
It's
that
unfortunate.
it is. We have to. It starts with us.
Yeah,
It truly
it
does. And so some of the positives, I know what the perception may be, but I will say for the majority of the council, we really have coalesced. It has been really refreshing to sit there next to my council colleagues and really just push forward. Not be deterred by the noise, not be deterred by the naysayers and the negative. We have really coalesced to say, okay, we're going to focus on doing what we know is right for the city so that we can really start rebuilding our foundation. Because I'm really firm on this, you can't build off of a broken foundation. It will continue to fall.
So is that one question I have to ask
Yeah.
is a little. I hope it's not too difficult, but for the animals.
Yes.
I'm a big animal advocate. The pigs, the dogs, pigs, and turtles. And
I had
stuff.
4 dogs at one
Yeah.
point. So.
And I know I know it's a very hard situation,
Yes.
especially when there's cuts. So if there's anything we can do to try to get a veterinarian.
So we have been trying. As you can see, there's been open vacancies. Filling that position isn't as easy as you would think.
You gotta up that
I
salary.
think it's probably the salary,
So I've even
but
I've asked big philanthropists around town if they could, whatever we could do to try to up that salary, for them to pressure the city to up the salary. I mean, like when you pay, guess what happens?
guess what, Rob? Guess what? That's all around. We just,
I know.
and that's why I'm really big on economic development, because we can't talk about these things. We can't talk about filling the potholes. We can't talk about repaving streets if we're not talking about the money that it's going to take to do that.
Mm-hmm.
So when we're talking about budget cuts, but we're not talking about how we're going to replace that 5% in the future and beyond, that's concerning to me. So that's the conversation that I'm trying to turn and have.
You're gonna get it, and then you're gonna eventually it's gonna turn, and then it's gonna go the positive way.
Well, I think we just got to keep pushing for it.
But
and
if you were there with us, they cut to the bone.
I
and
know.
We still have not got back to those levels. So
No.
guess what's gonna? They
Well,
cut right back to the bone.
Well, I
right?
think you have to keep in mind too, we're talking about a bankruptcy that was 2009.
Mm-hmm.
We're now in 2025. So when we're talking about getting back, we shouldn't be aspiring to get back to 2009. We have to keep in mind our city's grown since then.
Yes, true.
We need to
Yes.
increase those numbers. So that's what I mean as far as we really have to think about our future and where we want to be and plan for it accordingly. We can't, we are all American city. We have so much history, and it does kill me sometimes when I see so much of our history lost. But simultaneously, we have to be planning for our future, for future generations to come. Like you're talking about AI, those are technological advances.
Well, this is the thing, though. The people that are building our city, they don't care about our history, and they don't care about our future.
Well,
Some of them.
Yeah.
I'm serious. They just want to have. They see a cheap piece of land that's cheaper than everywhere else, and they're going to do whatever they can to build on that land because it's going to make them money.
Well, that's why I say we have to change that because, capitalism's going to survive.
Well, yeah.
So,
yeah,
like,
like, how do we do it?
Well,
do we go after Amazon and say, you know what, you need to start paying city sales tax?
well,
I'm
they
tired.
pay, they
Yeah.
do. I mean, this is the thing. We have to have a plan. What is that saying? Like, you can't stop a man with a plan. We first have to have a plan. Again, back to the silos and the different agendas. When we're all working towards different goals, what gets accomplished?
Not very much.
So we really have to, and again, that's why I'm really excited, for our time and where we're at currently with our city council. we are coalescing. The city manager recruitment, there was a lot of fanfare that came along with that, but it was necessary because it starts at the top. Leadership is important.
Any movement good on that? Or?
Absolutely,
Okay.
yes. So
Excellent.
we
Excellent.
moved forward, and it was, I think, something that was necessary. We've been without a city manager, a permanent city manager now for over a year. So you have to keep in mind how that impacts staff. And we are losing staff left and right.
Oh yeah.
To
me, I don't expect to keep this city manager long.
don't say that.
It's the same thing over and over.
So that's where we
It's the
have to
truth.
speak light. We
Every
have to speak
single one
positivity.
that comes in there, they end up in a problem and they leave because we're not getting quality in the beginning.
So let's say
Yeah.
this, because about speaking, positive affirmations.
I try to.
I want you to speak because it really is us coming together as a city. We have to, whomever is in that seat, set them up for success. That's one thing that I noticed, and I wasn't in agreement with the last city manager permanent pick. Obviously, I wasn't on the council. I didn't have a say. But, being a resident from the outside looking in, I was like, ooh, this is horrible, But I do think that the council was kind of
So last time I did try, I was like, all right, I'm going to try to be positive, and I'm going to go along with this so we can change the beginning of the city. And he's a crook and kicks out with our money. I tried. I'm
not
a little,
him.
I get a little wild, but
I think you're
it's
talking
'cause
about
I
one
love
of the
San Bernardino
others.
so much that I feel like sometimes people come here just to take advantage of us.
We won't go all the way there. Yes, I do agree with that.
Okay,
but
on a positive note. So, you said you have two youngins and go to
I
school.
do, yes.
So, what's it like being a councilwoman and a mama and a wife and
Oh,
all
my
the stuff
goodness.
you got to do?
It's challenging. I will be very crystal clear about that. I juggle a lot. I wear a lot of hats. I'm a CEO of a nonprofit organization. I'm a mom. I'm a wife, and I'm a city council person. And even though our city council is a part-time job, we have full-time needs for this city. So my days are
That's no part-time job.
no, by the charter. We're
Yeah, by charter, but you be getting calls and texts all day.
Literally, it's 7 days a week.
Yeah.
So I think that God led me to this seat for a reason, and I'm trusting and believing, and I'm going with it and keeping optimistic.
So your husband, what was his name again?
Anthony.
Anthony.
Yes.
How does he like you not having all the time, but a little time?
Definitely has our moments, but he's been a dear. He really has. Even before, obviously, even stepping on council, I was highly involved in the city. So I always say that my family's always had to share me with the city of San Bernardino, and I really appreciate them for that. And my babies, they've been a troop, all of them, including my hubby. So
Where do you guys go on date night?
oh my God, what's a date night?
No. Better fix that.
We haven't had one of those. We do a lot as a family.
Is coming up over at the
Yes,
Roosevelt Hall.
we enjoyed those last summer.
Yeah?
So we'll be back. We will.
Okay.
Yeah.
And where's your favorite place to eat in San Bernardino?
Oh my goodness, I have a couple. I do like Yang's Noodle House, which is in my Fifth Ward area.
I've not tried that yet. How
Yes,
was it?
they're pretty good. I love their Chinese fried rice. They have this sausage in there. Oh, it's so good. It's really, really good.
Okay.
So that's one of my favorites. I am a boba person. I don't like boba, but I love Thai iced tea.
Mm-hmm.
And so, oh God, now the name's escaping me. A liquid tea bar. They have great teas. Love them. And then we just have a new one hung up on Kane. I'm a foodie, so
Yeah.
I'm a little bit
I-
everywhere. Doesn't look like it, but
I actually went to Lemon Shark a lot before Hung Up on Kane.
oh, I
Yeah,
haven't been
yeah.
to. That's the one I haven't been to.
It went out. It went under. And then became Hung Up on Kane. Yeah.
Oh, so that's
Yeah,
what
yeah.
it replaced.
Yeah. Lemon Shark Pokey left.
Oh,
it was
I'm
good.
so sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, there's another pokey place over by
University.
University, across from Cal State.
It was,
I've had them
We're
once.
going there next. I
Yeah.
guess. Yeah.
So no, we have San
Pokey's
Bernardino-
good stuff.
It
Yeah,
is. It is really good.
Yeah, around Cal State, we really are starting to build up a foodie kind of culture.
We are.
So
I'm really wanting like a nice sit-down restaurant.
that would be cool.
That's what we really need. So
It'd be awesome if it was on that huge hill right there as you're coming in, right? To the, where we used to put the SIGEP letters up there on the hill.
Oh, yeah.
That huge
Gosh,
hill
we should
above
have
of that little complex there.
yeah.
All right, well, that sounds cool. The Fifth Ward has been doing well. Cal State, been growing and doing
Oh,
incredible.
tremendously, yes.
Offering a lot for our community too. So thank you so much for helping the Fifth Ward and in coming on here as not as like in a candidate or anything, but as a real councilwoman.
I'm a real person.
Yeah.
I tell everyone I'm a resident just like everyone else. The only difference is I signed up for this crazy task of being a council person, but I'm just like everyone else. I'm a resident here that loves San Bernardino. So
And because you're in the limelight and you're a public figure now, people are going to attack you.
oh
right?
God, well that's been happening, to be quite honest.
And I just want to tell you, like, whatever they do, make it into a shirt.
I like that.
I'm totally serious.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah. Whatever they do, make it into a shirt because they're giving you some publicity, and that's all. Right? You know, someone good is going to read that same thing and say, "Man, that person mean."
Yeah.
So, like, I had one person grab my worst photo ever and put it online with all this stuff on it, and made me a girl and everything, right? Because I was against the wall, the Dollar General over
okay.
on Marshall Street.
Yes.
Just because of that, as a commissioner. So I took that picture and I said, I'm going to make it into a shirt, and I posted it all over the internet.
Oh, how
And you know
funny.
what? They didn't do anything else after that. So,
I love that idea. Yeah.
so
Did
it's,
you sell any of them?
yeah, no. Myself. I probably should have. But that would have really showed them, right? That's something.
I appreciate that.
Yeah. So, Chantel Earl.
Shantae Earl.
Oh, Shantae Earl. Shantae Earl. So, where are you from?
San Bernardino.
Oh, you're from our hometown.
I am from San Bernardino. I was born and raised on the west side of town. Born at the county hospital.
Born at the county
You
hospital.
give me a high five.
St. Bernardine.
My sister was born there. I was born on a base.
Oh,
How are you?
Yes.
Where are you? Yeah.
which one?
So Edwards Air Force Base.
Okay.
So my dad was stationed there, and it was Norton. He was a captain in the Air Force that brought my family here in '84.
Cool. Yeah, my father was in the military, disabled veteran, so we got to go to Norton Commissary and March Air Force Base and all that stuff when I was a kid.
Yes.
So, going down Tippecanoe, and they'd be like,
Yep.
right, and you have your little sticker on your
I
car.
was little. I'd always get lost in the commissary.
Did you have your own little ID at
I
12?
don't remember. No, I was younger than that.
At 12 years old, I got my own ID, and I thought I was the coolest person ever.
I don't think it lasted that long. I
Yeah.
think by 12, unfortunately, it went under.
Yeah, those are the good old days.
Norton's Air Force
Yeah,
Base.
yeah.
Imagine that.
Crazy. So,
Some different times back then,
Yes, it was.
so you're
right? West Side.
What school did you go to?
Yeah, San Bernardino High School.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm a Pacific Pirates right here.
Oh well.
Cajon,
It's a
Cajon.
Cajon Cowboy. Cowgirl in the house, right?
Okay.
There's San Gregonio, a Spartan right there.
Excellent. We moved around the city a lot. Let me tell you, we moved a lot, being on the west side of town, and I grew up early with my mother. First half of my life till I was about 9-10 years old, and then she decided she was gonna move out of town. And then my dad came around and said, "Okay, you guys are coming with me." And I started living with my pops, and we lived literally right off of 5th Street and Sepulveda, right across the street from the Socobe Lake.
Oh, yeah.
I'm right in the hood. I still, as a matter of fact, I remember back then, me and my sister, we used to go to the lake, find as many strings as we can, find sticks, and find those nice little hooks. Throw them in the lake and sit there and fish.
Aww.
Until I got all these hooks in my hand. And then, I was like, I don't like this fishing thing. I mean, it was fun while it lasted, but it didn't last that long. But, my household, unfortunately, we had some issues in my household. And my dad, he told us one summer, he said, "We don't want you to come home after school. I need you guys to go to the library. You guys stay at the library. And when I come home, then you come home." I'm like, well, this is where we had to go. And as that summer, I was at the library, and I remember clearly, I was about 11 years old, and that summer there was a gentleman in the local library right next to the courthouse that was teaching kids how to code computers.
Oh, wow.
And I learned how to code a computer at 11. It wasn't much, but I was able to make a stick figure walk across the screen.
No joke. I went to Riley Elementary,
Yeah.
and it was a magnet program for computers, and
Okay.
I got to work on an Apple II, and I built this program that had this rocket shoot up into the sky.
Right.
Very
See?
cool.
See what I mean?
Yeah, that was cool stuff.
It was,
huh?
it was one of the best. It was one of the best. And, I started reading those little books that, great adventure books, and I liked reading. I realized that reading took me away from all of the issues that I had. Now, we've all had issues, not all of us, but some households are different than others. Everybody has some kind of challenge. But I realized that I had a love for technology and a love for reading. And the beauty of that is I ended up getting back into that industry later on in my career because I noticed that all my family members, they always call me if they need their computer fixed. If they need me to connect something to the VCR or to fix something, I've always been the guy that they would call.
So what is the main thing you have to fix on your family's computer?
Usually I have to run some type of program to get the viruses off.
Yeah, a virus? All right. All right. It's not
never
something
it.
like they just didn't know how to turn the volume on. Or
turn the computer
turn it
on,
Nothing like that. No. Okay.
I still get that too. I still get that too.
And virus.
Yeah, I
The
still
normal stuff.
the normal stuff
Yeah,
was
okay.
very
And you're
very
good at
common.
taking those viruses off.
Sometimes I
So
back in the day I
Do you
used to
keep
make
them
it
in,
worse.
I heard you keep them in quarantine.
Well, right now quarantine. Let's not talk about quarantine because let me tell you the quarantine we experienced during COVID, that was something that was absolutely insane.
Yeah, that was crazy.
It drove me back in the house and back on the computer.
And maybe a good thing, right?
It actually, I look at life like this. When you were talking about positive and keeping things, looking for the opportunity in the midst of all the challenges, I believe everything happens in its season. And a lot of times we make decisions based on temporary circumstances, knowing that there is always going to be a season. After every recession, there's always some type of years of growth and excel. And then obviously it comes back around to another
It's
recession.
cyclical, yeah.
It's all in cycles.
And we've had this is the longest good time we've had in a long time.
It's been great.
Yeah,
It's
even
been
COVID
good.
wasn't that bad because they fed us some good money, right?
Well, yeah, they gave some money away.
Yeah,
and a lot of people.
No, this is the thing. Like,
That part.
I spent so much.
That part.
My life changed. I lost a couple years, but I got to spend time with my family and
Yes.
do things that I never ever would have done.
Yes.
I think it definitely had some negative impacts, but as far as like economically speaking, it had a complete opposite effect of what we anticipated.
Yeah.
We thought real estate was going to tank and all of that, but it was the
blew it
exact
up.
opposite.
Yeah, it's been a very interesting ride. I know during the first recession, I ended up getting into real estate because I am still a licensed agent. I've been a licensed agent for over 18 years. And I realized when the first recession that we entered, I had to make a pivot. And because people were losing homes, things were going bonkers, and everybody was trying to figure out what they were going to do, including myself. And, I have a big family, and I'm like, well, I like computers.
How many kids you got?
I have
5 kids.
And I've been with a wife by the name of Tawan, who's for 30 years.
Oh, God bless that. That's
Yeah.
awesome.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you. And it's been an interesting season. Thank God gives us good women that can bail us out when we mess up everything.
Well,
What
this show to our family.
There we go.
That sounds
That's
good.
always a wonderful thing.
Just for you, Mama. Mwah, I love you.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
come on. You gotta enjoy your mother.
Now, so you got back into computers and reading, and you started a non-for-profit.
Well, you know what? What took place was this. In 2029, I pivoted, like I shared with you.
2029.
I
We're in
mean,
the future.
yeah. Well, I do think about the future a lot.
It's a few years.
2009, 2007, I got back into the computers, and I said, well, let me learn how to code, build websites, because things, they change so quickly. 1 minute you spend all your time learning one thing, and then you wake up the next day, that's old. Now you have to learn something else. I don't know if you've ever experienced that, but that's how I was back in that day, back in 2009, 2010. And I was able to learn some things. I made a little bit of money back then, and I kept my finger on the pulse and continue to try to figure out, well, how can I make all the money online and not have to go to work? I think that's what a lot of people want.
Isn't that the secret? You got
it doesn't work. You can live the dream, you can buy the dream, sell the dream, but it don't always. Sometimes it turns into a nightmare.
Yeah.
But I stuck and continue to keep my finger on the pulse. And fast forward, when COVID hit, I was like, you know what? This is a good time to start creating courses. And, I had the knowledge. But something amazing happened. In 2022, we were introduced to ChatGPT. OpenAI in November introduced this thing called artificial intelligence.
I mean, we all were. The humanity.
So I'm thinking to myself, what were they doing while we were locked in the house? What's really going on? Now, so we get this new technology, and it's literally changed the way we do everything.
Everything, yes.
And
I just read a whole article about let's stop sugarcoating it. It's about 50% of all admissions, desk jobs, things like that are going to be gone. So we got to start pivoting with this new technology. Yeah.
Mandatory, because the way of doing things, the way of doing businesses is going to change, and it already has changed. And, I hear this saying that, AI is not going to take your job, or it's going to take jobs, but it's really the people using it that's going to really
a computer
position
took my
themselves to
job.
take your job.
We were all archaeologists out there. We used tape measures and compasses
Right.
and range finders.
Yep.
And then this Trimble unit came out there that had GPS. You could press a button and send the report into the office, and you'd enter it into the what the heck? They didn't even need me anymore.
They don't need you anymore.
Yeah.
I know, and it's very.
And I worked hard
it's
in
happening
college
pretty
to get a degree in
I know.
archaeology.
I know.
Yeah, it's
Kind of crazy
Yeah.
how fast it's going.
It's so fast.
Yeah.
So fast.
Yeah.
So what do you tell your kids? Learn AI or
You know what I do, and I try to encourage them to take their head out of the telephone and focus on what's going on around you. And you'll be surprised how many people think of it and they're fearful of this thing called technology. Yeah. And what I discovered,
when they have a parasite on their hand all day? Man.
it's different though. It's for entertaining. And then when you have to
True.
put work in, then it's a discipline that has to take place at that point. And it's hard to change. People don't really like change.
Do you think they just need a bigger screen to make that transition? I don't know. Like
No, I think it's a comfortability.
Yeah, of course.
When you're not comfortable and don't understand something entirely, especially for the older generation. I
Definitely.
consider myself, I'm old. I'm not young, but I'm not old. I'm in that kind of, middle spot right there.
You're young.
And so,
You're right.
yeah, when you don't understand it,
how old are you, dude?
only older person.
Yeah, I'm very young, very young. Grade
We're
comes
all pretty
early.
close in age. I don't
early,
know.
right?
I might be older. I don't know.
You may be.
How old are you, Kim? 30?
Yes.
30?
We'll go with whatever. We'll go with that.
Never ask a lady how old she is.
It's no worse. The only thing worse is asking if someone's pregnant.
That's true.
There's guys in here,
It's
man.
like run,
And I actually
run,
did that the other day, and don't do it.
run.
Boy.
Still rocking and rolling.
I went up to a lady that I know, and
that's
and I said, "Are you pregnant?"
Oh, no.
Yeah.
It was too late. It came out.
It's over, brother.
Yeah,
You're
and
done.
she looked at me like you the dumbest dude on the planet.
I hate you.
No, she didn't say, but she definitely had the same look the next time I saw her.
You heard it. That's funny.
Just again. I don't have to.
That's unfortunate. You reminded her. That's
So you're not for profit TI.
Well,
Oh,
my wife and I, we started a nonprofit organization called Lifting Dreams Community Development 4 years ago.
Okay.
And the pillars are, it's 3 pillars: to learn, earn, and return. One thing that I discovered is I'm real big when it comes to financial literacy, teaching financial literacy to the youth, because I realized that when you can change a person's outlook when it comes to money, and to take care of that issue early on, a lot of other problems don't tend to be there. It's usually around finances.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, when I was growing up, that conversation, most families don't have it around the kitchen table. My community, we just don't have that type of conversations because, for one, a lot of times we're in survival mode. And we're just trying to figure out how we're going to pay our rent, how we're going to pay our light bill, our gas bill, how we're going to eat, how we're going to drive. And financial literacy starts at home, and then it has to continue within the schools and within our communities, because it's our responsibility.
especially schools in classes that hone the skills, right?
Yeah, exactly.
How to balance a checkbook, which you don't really need to do anymore, but you still got to balance your account, right?
Exactly. And one thing I found is, I have been in this type of work for quite some time. I did some volunteer work for a lot of different nonprofit organizations. I was a mentor for a charter school. I taught a life skills course locally here in San Bernardino. And now every Monday I actually teach the program Flip at Youth Build here in San Bernardino on 4th Street.
Okay.
And, I have a passion for teaching. I always have had a passion, and I've also had a passion
Well,
for
you're in the right spot. There's nothing but passion in that whole complex right there. Right? Young Visionaries is there. Lou,
You're absolutely right.
Dowdy, the Black Chamber of Commerce.
Yes,
Yeah,
yep,
man, that's
yep,
a
yep.
great spot to start.
It really is. It really is. And it's a lot of support because as a community, we have to support one another. And a lot of times we look at others who might have similar businesses or similar activities as competition. And it's not really a way of looking at it. I don't feel that we should see it that way. It should be more collaboration.
Oh, and Lou pushes that hardcore.
It's very important.
Now, this is super important. I can't think of a more important question. I mean, and I know Kim couldn't even answer this, but like what it comes down to is AI going to take over the world?
Very scary thing. It can be if you don't understand it. There's some really
No, she's giving me the eye. Maybe she does though.
Yeah, there's some dangerous things going on. But one thing that I always go back to is simplicity. So I actually teach a course called AI Made Simple for beginners, baby boomers, people who are looking at it and saying,
So we're not afraid of it, maybe?
exactly.
Ah.
Once we break
That's
that
embrace
down and break down that barrier,
Just a program?
they made it so easy for us to access that most people think that it's more difficult than what it really is.
Yeah, I played around with it. Like I mess around with a lot of AIs, including Metas and the new one. What's the new one on Google?
On Google?
Yeah, it always
Yep.
shows up on my phone. Gemini, yeah,
Gemini.
coming all the time. But I had an argument with Gemini the other day. That was interesting.
It was interesting, right?
It didn't want to lose.
Oh, yeah.
It did not want to lose. And in
Yeah.
fact, it used sarcasm at the end.
Yeah.
And basically said, yeah, you won.
I believe it. I believe it. I believe it. There's when it comes to this thing called technology, or as far as the adoption of technology, it's a technological adoption curve, and it's 5 different areas in this particular curve. One is the innovators. They're the ones that got the money. They don't mind putting the tech out there, waiting for somebody to actually see it, and if the world accepts it, they're like, yeah, we have a winner here. Then we have the early adopters, those who say, hey, give me the first iPhone. Let me try it out. Let me beta test it. And then we have the early majorities. They'll say, okay, hey, they're doing it, so I'll do it. And then the late majority. They're saying, well, I guess we'll go ahead and get it done since everybody has already jumped on board, but they're late. And then the laggards. I'm not going to do it. Give me a pencil and a piece of paper, and I'll just write it down the way I've always done things. And unfortunately, in business, in life, we see how being in those categories can either help your business actually scale or literally be out of business. You know, just look at the Blockbusters of the world who didn't make that shift. Now we're starting to see companies fall continually right now because of
the AI shift.
they're not making
All
it.
right, we're almost out of time here. How do we find out more information about your non-for-profit and somebody get a hold of you?
Yeah, definitely. You can always go to our website, liftingdreams.org, and you can go there, and
Your
there's
Facebook
there's a lot of information. I have a Facebook page as well. Go to Smart AI workshops at Facebook, Instagram, also YouTube. And I've got free courses if you want to learn, and I'm always willing to teach.
And Kim?
You can find me on social media. It's Kim Canos 4SB. I'm on Instagram as well as Facebook. And then, of course, you can contact me at our city council office.
Let me catch that frog. Where is he at? Where's he at?
I'm still recovering from bronchitis.
It's okay. We're so happy that you actually came in today. We appreciate it. We love it when our politicians come in and show us the love, but we also love it when you're from San Bernardino and you're coming in the show. I love San Bernardino. And this is Robert Porter, missing it beyond Locker with the I Love San Bernardino County Radio. We are out of here.